After. I've been telling you not to worry, and I still think that's the case. But when do you start worrying about Team Dignitas? That's the fucking question. These guys have looked great every minute of every day, unless it matters. They've slayed the regular... So let's go all the way back to Spring Split, right? Last year. A year ago, they looked fantastic. Their record was great. They came second place. Summer Split, their record is fantastic. They come first place. Win the LAN. Fall Split, they look fantastic. And they fuck things up at Super Regionals and they don't go to Worlds. Eesh. Well, they stick together and we see them again during the Spring Split and they look just as good. They look even better, arguably. Cuvo Fred is on his nonsense. Zeros, during the summer of last year, I considered him the best player in the world. Now, or as time went on, I think he sort of faltered. Other players came in and came out of the conversation. Now, here in the spring, I'm not ready yet to just go ahead and call that, but he looks damn good. The mage play is great. The mid is dope. Working with Cuvo Fred fantastically. And again, they come in swinging like nobody's business, looking fantastic. Regular season, spring comes through, bop, bop. That's how it goes. Dignitas look fantastic, look great. And again, they just can't get it done at LAN. Now, they did turn up a little bit, but they couldn't find their way into the finals even. Or they couldn't find the win in the finals, and it was bad play, too. They drop a game to Rival that they absolutely shouldn't have, and then they lose. They get reverse swept. They lose so many in a row, and it is troublesome. So, here's the question, folks. When do we get concerned about Team Dignitas? And I still say not yet, but the train is leaving the station kind of soon. I mean, looking at these guys, the most important point is for them to continue being strong in the regular season and all that fun stuff. That's the most important point. They need to continue doing those things, but they also need to figure out what the problem. And I think that's the first part of the issue, which is why I'm not coaching them and I'm just talking about them, because I don't know what the problem is. Talking to those guys, basically what it seems like is that Zeros kind of can be in his own head sometimes and doesn't necessarily listen to the squad or what have you. For me, I don't give a fuck. I don't point fingers unless it's necessary for a learning experience. So for me, I don't care. Blame whoever, just fix it. Communication is clearly this team's issue. Individual talent's there. Nobody's going to sit there and tell you that these players on Dignitas are bad. They're great. They're standout players. Some of them are the best in their positions, arguably. So there's no conversation about can they press their buttons. Can they play as a team is a different conversation. Their drafts are fine. I used to think that Dignitas kind of faltered in the drafts. That they've fixed. I've mentioned on broadcasts that they've always had the brawn, but where are the brains? Well, Dignitas have the brains. So they've got the brawn, they've got the brains, but there's still a breakdown. And the problem is, I think that breakdown comes at the core element of what makes the team happen, is that these guys all have egos and confidence, and that's not outright a negative. You need to have an ego to be at this level of prowess. I say that because it's not just related to Smite. If you're people look at people like Kanye West and stuff like that. If you want to be the biggest person on the planet, you got to think that you're the biggest person on the fucking planet. If you want to be top 10, you got to think you're top 5. If you want to be top 5, you got to think you're top 3. If you want to be top 3, you got to think you're the best in the world. And if you want to be the best in the world, you got to think that you're the best that's ever been. So I do not fault these guys for having an ego whatsoever. But at the same time, this is something my old music teacher used to tell me. Sometimes you got to take your ego and put it in your back pocket. It's very important to have your ego. It's just like a wallet. Inside has all of the necessary things that you need to go about doing your life. You got your ID. Look at me. Look who I am. I'm so freaking cool. You got your line of credit. I'm dope so I can afford to do X, Y, Z, not necessarily monetarily speaking. But at the same time, nobody wants you to wave your black card in their face. Nobody wants you to show them how fat your wallet is because there's so much money in it or so many cards in it. You got to stick your ego in your back pocket. It's important to have it, but you don't got to show it to everybody all the time. And I think that's the problem with Team Dignitas, is that they've got the talent, they've fixed some of the technical aspects of the game. The Biggie's done a great job at finding the right picks for these guys and the right situations for these guys. And it's a good thing that they have their egos, because they wouldn't be here if they didn't think so highly of themselves. But at the same time, they need to reel it in and listen to each other. This is just what I get from the outside looking in, so I could be a little off base. But at the end of the day, I look at transcendent talent like zeros in the middle lane. I look at fantastic players like Cuvo, and I look at great standout players like Variety. And I think I see a communication breakdown, and they're dropping like a Led Zeppelin. That was dope. Shouts to me. So I want to see them fix this. I want to see them do this. And let me tell you that I'm not saying this to put them on blast. I don't mean to embarrass these guys, and I don't mean to sit here and just shit on them, because at the end of the day, they are still one of the most talented teams on the planet. But when the going gets tough, the Dignitas get the fuck out. And that's a problem. So whether or not they need to fix their attitudes together and listen more to each other, or I'm off base, something's got to fix. Because at the end of the day, things aren't going right for Team Dignitas. Now, it's just a spring split, and that's why I say it's not time to panic just yet. But you better start figuring out how to get to the disco, because we're close. If this happens in the summer split, if Dignitas finish in the regular season in a bad spot, but do well at LAN, I don't care. And I need them to win the fucking LAN. I need them to win the LAN. They at least can't lose in the spectacular fashion that they did in the springtime. It was a bad look for a team that should not look bad. Disappointing. And I think this is on Biggie as a coach. It's on the players because they're not doing things right. But the coach needs to step in when you've got issues like this, because there's no problem with the players pushing their buttons. I'll tell you when to panic. Now's not the time, but keep it in mind. Dignitas are scaring me. We'll see if they can continue. Hopefully they can. I like the story that these guys do, and I want to see them succeed. That said, shout out to Rival. They've absolutely crushed it. Some things talking about the channel, though. Maybe I'll put it in a different video. Maybe I should. I don't know. Things about the channel. We're going to see more than just Smite. I'm going to start talking current events. It sounds politics. You know, I'm not afraid of being political, but that's not what I mean. I put out a video the other day on esports and betting. More stuff like that. 2, maybe some Magic content. People in the chat know that I play a lot of Magic, so they've been asking for some Magic content. I'm going to be streaming that, as well as maybe I'll put out some YouTube stuff as well. And anything else, let me know. Not straying away from Smite. I still have a couple of Smite videos to do. I'm still going to talk about the international teams that we saw at LAN. I'm still going to talk about Rival that we saw at LAN. Dignitas, that was this one. So, keep an eye on the YouTube channel. Like, comment, subscribe, and the whole 9 yards. Thumbs up to everybody that shows up on Twitch and shows me love everywhere else. Shout out to you guys. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Peace. How much love to you? Boom, 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 after. I fucked up the outro, but you got the idea.